When a couple breaks off an engagement, what happens to the ring? According to the law of gifts, the answer to who gets to keep the engagement ring often comes down to this question. Was the ring a conditional one, conditional upon the marriage actually happening, or was it an absolute gift with no conditions? If it's a conditional gift, then the person who bought the ring gets it back. If it's an absolute gift, then the recipient of the ring gets to keep it. It used to be the case that a court would decide who called off the engagement, and the other person would get the ring. But the law has generally moved away from that approach. Many provinces, including Manitoba, Ontario, and Alberta, all have legislation that says it does not matter who broke off the engagement. The court simply has to decide whether the ring was an absolute or a conditional gift. So how does a court distinguish between a conditional gift and an absolute gift? Well, the judge looks at the evidence. They consider what the parties said and did, both at the time of the engagement and subsequently. If there are text messages or emails about the ring, they would look at those. For example, if during the breakup, the recipient of the ring offered to give the ring back, that would be an indication that the parties understood the ring to be a conditional gift. On the other hand, if in response to that question, the giver of the ring said, "No, you don't have to give it back," then that would be an indication that the gift was an absolute gift. So, if you find yourself in this situation, better think carefully before you start texting about it. Now, in BC, the prevailing view is that the engagement ring is a conditional gift and you have to give it back if the engagement is called off, regardless of who calls it off. Unfortunately, the case law in other provinces is not as consistent as it is in BC, and clear trends are hard to distinguish. One way to avoid getting into this situation is to enter into a cohabitation agreement that sets out what happens to the ring in the event of a breakup prior to marriage. Of course, this is generally the last thing newly engaged couples want to talk about. Remember, if you actually do get married and then you divorce, there is no question that the recipient of the engagement ring is the owner of that ring. To the extent that the gift of the ring may have been conditional, that condition was satisfied upon the couple actually getting married.